we begin this morning with a stunning development out of South Korea, where martial law was suddenly declared overnight by the president. Martial law is effectively when the military takes charge, therefore suspending existing laws, including civil rights on the civilian population. The president appeared on national television to say he was planning to hand over South Korea's government to the country's military because of what he called pro-North Korean and anti-state forces that he says are preying on the freedoms of his people.
친애하는 국민 여러분.
I hereby declare an emergency martial law in order to defend the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces and to eradicate the shameless pro-North, anti-state forces that are depriving our people of their freedom and happiness. This measure is necessary to safeguard our constitutional order of freedom.
Did the president overplay his hand? The majority of parliamentary members, both from the governing party and the opposition, voted to block the rule. Hundreds of protesters gathered outside the building chanting no to martial law and strike down dictatorship. US President Joe Biden was asked about these developments a moment ago.
Mr. President, anything on South Korea martial law?
Just getting briefed.
Thank you.
So as we look at these live pictures that are coming to us from Seoul, there is chaos and there is confusion in the capital, where it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Dominic Waghorn has more.
What we had was an announcement by President Yoon, who is unpopular, beleaguered by various scandals, and has had trouble trying to achieve any of his political programme because of that, announcing the declaration of martial law. And then we saw rowdy scenes outside the building we're looking at now, which it looks like, a concert hall, doesn't it? But actually, outside that building were rowdy scenes as protesters clash with police, security forces. And then inside that building, MPs, some of whom had difficulty getting in through that cordon, then voted to overturn this imposition of martial law. And according to the opposition leader that we saw speak soon after that vote, that should have been that, because under the South Korean constitution, certainly his reading of it and many others, the president can impose it. But with a majority vote, the National Assembly can overturn that and can suspend martial law. But it's not over now yet, Mark, it seems, because according to a number of reports, as we're saying there, the South Korean Defence Ministry is saying it will maintain martial law, and as far as it's concerned, it will carry on doing so until the president lifts it, even though the parliament has lifted that. So what appeared to have been a coup attempt, possibly, by a rather beleaguered and isolated leader, then led to scenes of unrest outside the parliament, and now possibly is heading towards some kind of constitutional crisis, because if the parliament believes that martial law has been lifted, but the defence ministry that operates security forces and the military believes it has a constitutional obligation to impose martial law, then you're going to have a constitutional standoff. So it's going to be a long night and clearly a very interesting and rather unpredictable few days ahead.
And we'll have full reaction on those developments throughout the course of the morning, folks.